in order to see a better year, in order to feel a better year, in order to go within, in order to feel the energy of the new cycle that you have been rebirthed in order to see that renewal of the cycled energy that you have been cycling your repetitive habits in, for you to be able to withstand that currency and willingly put your freedom into that programming that your subconscious mind is wiring itself in, for you to be seeing that, you had to want to see a better year for yourself every single day. And it becomes a chore, it becomes a task when you're doing something consistently and you don't see the results instantly. That becomes a challenge for the subconscious mind, because the ego is focusing on the validation of doing something that's challenging, doing it constantly, and then wanting to be praised for it. And then when you're not seeing the praise that you expected from the works that you did, when you're not seeing that, that's when the subconscious mind becomes infuriated with the fact that many people are not praising you for the accolades that you have already accomplished when it comes down to the goals that you want to meet with the years that you are living in, when it comes down to the unconscious energy cycles of these Saturnalian gods that are disguised as, January through December. Celestial rising, divine at the noon, and grand night to the beautiful deity watching this video. It's your divine reflection, divine messenger, and we are back with another message and understand. Before we begin to this video, make sure, if you choose to, make sure you like, comment, subscribe for more divine messages. And I just want to say I really appreciate y'all for tuning into these videos, and to the beings out there who have subscribed. If you're new to the family, welcome to divinity, welcome to a dualistic perception of contradictions. And all we are here with today, all we have presented today, honestly, is just information that's unconscious. And the thing is, too, nobody's either right or wrong, but we are here to help us, or help ourselves understand how to make a year better for 2025, if you believe in that. Because spiritual beings, there is no belief system in newly energized cycles of Saturnalia worship, because worshiping a new year is literally worshiping a sun god. Because the thing is, too, even with the ancient times, even in Mesopotamia, Sumerians, Aztec, all of that, our ancestors felt as if that when the sun was coming out, when it was arriving, when the energy was springing forward into a different way of being outside of winter, when we decided to warm ourselves up outside of a cold environment, that's when our image, our reflection, we decided to come up with this illusion called a new year. Because we figured as if that once the winter time goes away, once the spell casting of this cold environment, once it becomes to start warming up, we thought as if that was a newly rebirthed cycle of energy that we're going to be experiencing a new way of living in. So because of that, we had to ordain the exact same programming, and we had to stain that and hammer that into our bloodline, to the point to where now the people that we grew up with, that we're friends with, we're family members with, we go to work with, we go to school with, the people that we witness life with, they're the ones that are practicing unconsciousness when it comes down to the new year. And the people that worship New Year's, they're going to continuously be stuck in the same exact loop of unconsciousness when it comes down to them wanting to live a better life for themselves, because they can't do that. And the thing is, too, celebrating New Year's is like celebrating hypocrisy, because you're wanting to have because think about how many people have said New Year, new me. Think about how many people have talked about what they're going to do, what they'll experience, what they'll witness, what they'll encounter, what they'll be doing. People will be saying what they'll be doing at the beginning of the year, but then when next month hits, they're doing the exact same programs and spells that they have been doing from the months before January and February hit. So it's like all you're doing is practicing the exact same spell casting of your own enslavement. That's what's going to keep you stuck in the exact same loop of wanting to get into a different new year. So there is no new year, because subconsciously through the ego, you have to believe it to be a new year because of what you have been allowing yourself to hear or follow. And then if you're following what you're hearing, then all you're doing is hearing a bunch of slitherine programs that come from a worship or idolization, a serpentry. That alchemy is blinding you from seeing within the shadow side of your discernment that you are not discerning by understanding the realization you should have been having with what you were worshiping or praising or celebrating, because you're not celebrating a new year. All you're doing is celebrating the realization of the singular point of your current moment that you think is going to be new, but you are just remembering the replenishing and the reinventing of energy the energy that you have witnessed throughout your whole entire life is now cycling itself again into what you think is 2025. But spiritually, you are observing the exact same infinite timeline that has no year on it. So you can't stamp a year of the observation of your dream. So how can there be a new year when you're the observer of your dreams that you physically think is your reality? So for number one, you have to let go of baggage from 2024, because for one, it's the reason why you're not able to spring forward into a new way of being when it comes down to a new year. So physically, you can say that the new year comes down in March, April, June, July, in many different cultures. That's fine, that's dandy. But spiritually, in the ethereal realm, astral realm, there's no such thing as a new year, because a new year does not know how old it wants to be new in when it comes to the year that it wants to follow itself into. Because a year, for one, a new year is its own programming. It's a distinctive program that is following separately. Does that make sense? So separately meaning that, for one, year is its own spiritual entity, but now the programming of new is its own aspect of that entity that it's connected to. So new is just a spiritual embodiment of that entity that the year is already in, because that new energy is still old. But that year is going to be a year no matter what. So that new energy that people think they're going to be is still going to be that exact same old energy. So how can you enhance that old energy into creating a new profound sense of visualizing yourself to be in? That's exactly why you have to let go of that baggage that you were witnessing and walking into from last year, because it can't serve you anymore when it comes down to January to December. So basically, many people can say there's 13 months in a year, there's 10 months. First of all, the highest number, technically speaking, is 9 or 10. So it will be March to December. But somebody can say too that March or April can be the 12th or 13th month. Either way it goes, it does not matter with who's right and who's wrong when it comes down to calendars and pagan origins, because either way it goes, this is satanic worshiping at its finest. And because of that, when you let go of all the traditions that your ancestors and your family member have taught you, or your family members have taught you before this day, you are now going to witness that. For one, people are talking about in January, they're talking about a Roman god, or February, March, April, they're talking about Roman gods and how they feel throughout that whole entire month. You are the observer of pagan and sun gods that worship your subconscious idolization. These months don't exist, but for them to exist, your subconscious mind has to manifest their existence by believing in the tradition that you have been following through your bloodline's programming. When you let go of that, there's no such thing as timelines anymore. So you actually don't know what year it actually is. And you don't care for that, because you're just existing like the consciousness should have been doing the whole entire time. On top of that, you know that you're not living for 2025 if you do believe in timelines, or if you're going to believe in a timeline. Because if you're going to formulate your existence in this year from January to December, then that means to me that you're going to start doing habits, you're going to start doing acts that are going to cause you to start doing things for a better you, a future you, 5 years or 10 years down the line. So whatever you're doing right now consistently and constantly is what you'll be seeing and walking into when it comes to a new year, if you do believe in new years. But you know that this new year is the exact same cycle that you have already been witnessing. Set one audacious goal that is going to put some fear into you, and then let that fear excite you. Because for one, set a goal that's just out of this world. It's outlandish. Commit a goal, or tell yourself a goal that you know you're going to accomplish, and then if that goal is able to frighten, the thing is too, you have to create that, because the goal that you are looking for or you're looking to succeed in, it's not going to present itself to you just by you sitting there. No, you have to go and create that. You have to go and find that, go research that, go study that. But then once you sit there and create the life that you have already been living in, you are now going to be excited with what used to scare you. Because what used to scare you was preparing you into challenging yourself, into being excited for challenges that are scaring you into being a better you, for that inner child that wants to be just like your inspiration, that you look up to as you're looking down at your higher self. Because the thing is too, when you create that goal, you're telling your future self, okay, I see 5 or 10 years down the line of where I expect to be and how I want life to go, or how I think life will go for me. So if I see myself at a certain point 5 or 10 years down the line, I got to start doing things today, right now. And I got to put big goals on a sticky note, on a calendar, on my phone, in my room. I got to do something. I got to put it somewhere to where every single day that goal scare me, because when I commit that goal, I'm knocking down the illusion of fear. And when I knock that illusion down, I'm beginning to start witnessing what I was excited to be the whole entire time. And that was your future. Or that is your future. The third one, you have to prioritize your mental and physical health every single day. And the thing is too, that literally means, because the first thing, the important word is prioritize your mental and physical and spiritual health as well. Because when you are making those things the main focus, you are going to see why health is your best friend. A lot of times people make health their main enemy because they're not healthy minded. So if you're not healthy minded, then your biggest threat is going to be your mind. Because for one, your gut instinct is going to tell you intuitively that this food is not good for you. And the thing is too, it'll tell you through constipation, it'll tell you on your face, it'll tell you in your mood, it'll tell you in your articulation, it'll tell you in your mental clarity, it'll tell you in your focus, it'll tell you in your passion, it'll tell you in your purpose, it'll tell you in your pleasures. All these different urges that are causing you to feel a certain way, with just in your gut instinct alone, even your lower urges, those distractions will tell you that you are not focusing on a better you, for you, because you're not prioritizing a healthier mindset for you to be walking into or living in or existing in, because you're embodying the program that you see hatred in, but you articulate that hate and you put it towards other people. But what you're doing and you're not realizing is you're hating yourself, and you're not making it known to other people. But when you're projecting it by typing or expressing it on social media or in real life, when you see that for yourself and then you critically think about what you're doing, that's the first step into prioritizing mental health for yourself. Not only that, spiritual health, because every single day, what are you doing into being a healthier you or a better you? Because, for example, today, just by me getting up early before the sun starts or before the sun rises, and then by me taking care of my task before 12 o'clock hits, that's me prioritizing my mental health, my physical health, and my spiritual health as well, because I'm letting myself know that I got things to do today. So by me even knocking down, because for one, there isn't 24 hours in a day, but it's 12. So because I accomplished that first 12, I already beat the day of my opponents. So my opponent is probably just now waking up today, probably just now recording one video. But my opponent doesn't know that we already recorded 5 videos for Instagram and TikTok and Facebook if I choose to post. But then we had a Patreon video that was posted. But then we're going to post this video for YouTube and a second one for YouTube as well. So that's damn near like 8 or 7 videos in a day. Not only that, we read 2 books, because we got the book of Enoch that we're reading. Then the Secrets to Love, Money, and Health. Yeah, the Secret Manifestations to Love, Money, and Health as well. I'm reading that too. So I'm reading 2 books at once. And there's somebody out there who didn't take the time out of their day to even read a book because they're celebrating a new year. Somebody out there who didn't even journal today. Did you journal today? Because I did my affirmations, but somebody out there doesn't believe in that. And that's okay, but that's what separates health from healthy. Because some people believe or they know about health, but they don't know how to maintain the channeling of healthy or healthy mind. Because being healthy is a channeling of energy that you have to be frequently in tuned in, or frequently in tuned with. Because when you're in tune with the energy of health, now you'll be able to see how healthy you can always stay. Okay, that as you're always staying healthy, you're now enabling yourself to see your goals, to see your purpose, to see, to see what's holding you back, to see what's not letting you grow, to see what's helping you detach from the things that you gotta let go in order to find your future self. Okay, so number 4, surround yourself with people who challenge and inspire you. Because the thing is, too, the people that challenge and inspire us, they're going to be the ones that are going to help us find out that our biggest competitor is our reflection every single day. The person that you are inspired by, that you look up to, that you want to go up against, that you see yourself going up against, this is a person that you see yourself in, because that energy that you're witnessing or observing or following or imitating or emulating, that energy that you are seeking, that's the energy that you have already been sought out after. Because as you sought out for this energy, you are now realizing that that's the image that you have been reflecting off of the whole entire time. Because the imagery comes from a higher projection anyways. We don't have to go too deep into that, but because this projection is already projected already in front of your face, you are now going to start hanging around people that are better than you. And I don't mean that in a way that's derogatory or that's putting you into submission. But what I'm saying is, and I don't take this quote in that way or that manner. You should find it offensive if you are the smartest person in the room. And the thing is, too, it's not a bad thing to be the smartest person in the room. But what I'm saying is, when you start to see and be aware of how intelligent you are amongst other people, you now have to question what they allow themselves to research or think about when it comes to information. What have they been studying and how much work have they been putting in into being smarter? But when you have somebody out there who can combat your ideas with their ideas, make it make sense, but then keep up with the conversation when it comes down to what you're commuting, when you can start witnessing that and seeing that for yourself, you are going to be able to start equalizing that energy and allowing it to be in your circle. But of course, you see them as your enemy. So you're keeping that enemy close, but you're still allowing them to be considered family because you two go through the same exact thing. Y'all prioritize the same exact guidelines when it comes to life or whatever the case may be to get yourself in order. So because you two follow the mindset of order, y'all are now going to start becoming more close or more involved into each other's lifestyles. And that's why you have to be inspired by people that challenge you to be better than you. Because if you want to be better than them, that's one thing. But a wise man or woman will tell you that you don't have to be better than anybody but who you were a second ago. That's the biggest competitor of all, who you were a second ago. Because who I was 18 minutes ago didn't matter. I didn't even say anything important. You may have thought I did, but what matters is what I say from this video forward. Commit to learning one new skill that will transform your life. And the thing is, too, a skill can be anything. So for me, I could say, just speaking from experience, that my new skill that I have acquired is just, I guess you can say, teaching, because I never put myself into the predicament of wanting to teach other souls, including myself. But what I realized too, that I'm not actually teaching, but I'm learning from my teachings. I'm not actually teaching, but I'm learning from my teachings. So the moment that I'm talking, or the moment that I begin to start speaking information that's helping out some energy out there, that's guiding itself into a higher simulation after this life, that's when I'm realizing that I'm just a student of what I'm hearing myself talk myself into. Because what I'm talking about is what my spirit already knows and can articulate through my throat chakra. But because of that, I'm starting to understand that I'm just being one with the Almighty Creator, in unison with my unity, by being in divinity with all alignments of cosmic gateways that my mindset has been aligning itself to be harmonious into. which is exactly why I was committed to even wanting to learn that skill of acquiring teaching, because teaching can help you understand that all you're doing is just constantly learning about what you were taught. And all you're doing is just projecting the experiences that have been taught to you. And then when you teach people that new skill, they will now acquire the inspiration that they are inspired by through you. And the thing is too, it can be a new skill as far as like cooking as well, or singing, dancing. It can be carpentry, architecture. It can be just, mathematics, just whatever. But any different skill that you want to obtain that you think is important, learn that, master it, 10,000 hours. And then when you think that you are satisfied in that skill, acquire a new one, get a new one. And then when you're working on that one, go get another one and keep on getting new skills, because the more skills you have, the better equipped you are into going and not just only going, but doing side missions that are going to unlock more gateways to help you find more opportunities into living a better life. Number 6, you have to invest in your experiences, not just things, because they will be able to create lasting joy. And the thing is too, when you're investing in the experiences, you'll be able to understand that for one, the experience is it's the one moment that brings you joy for free. You don't have to pay for an experience unless it's expensive. And then who you bring with you on that journey of the experience, you're investing in a time that's not well spent, because you're spending this time with someone that you could have avoided, but you didn't want to avoid them because you felt bad for them not going on this trip with you. And that's the problem with you, because you should have known that with them, they were only going with you because they wanted a free ride to go on this trip or this experience, so that they can invest in an image that they had to keep up in their world. But you're not in their world, you're in your world, because you're in your new year. Don't forget that. Because in their rebirth, in their cycle of energy, we don't know what they're going through in their mind. Only they know what they're doing in their mind, because they're attracting how they feel about their thoughts within. So if you're going within for yourself, you'll be able to understand their interpretation of what they think is supposed to be important to their character, that they had to identify with. Because the thing is too, not just things as well, because when you're investing in the experience of just, I say moments, because everything is a current moment anyway. When you invest in just a moment of experiences, you're not worried about who bought you what, who did this for you, who sold that to you, who said this to you, what you heard, what you felt, what you've seen. All these different things that we think are important, that's a bad investment. Determining how negative we feel about that situation or that outcome, that's the problem right there. But when you're enjoying every moment, and when you're being free in that way of being, when it comes down to working not only just for yourself, but for that future perspective that you are living in, that's the moment that you're going to start experiencing a higher investment for buying out better feelings for a future when it comes to March or even April. Because if that's what you claim as a new year, so be it. 'Cause I don't give a fuck when the new year is. But the thing is though, if you believe that, then when March or April comes, you have to start making higher and better investments for your experiences from January, from this day forward, on the 1st, till March 1st, or April 1st, or May. When you understand that boundary right there, you'll be able to start doing things the way you want to be doing them. Because you're doing them not only for you anymore, but you're doing it to invest a better, let's say, a better way of liberation for your family and for your family to come. And then last but not least, number 7, you have to visualize your dream life every rising and at night, and take action into that visualization that you are seeing and that you are creating. Because when you can visualize your knife, when you can visualize your life during the day and at night, then you'll be able to see the future that you have been invested in, because you have made a rich choice that you poorly were not deciding to be committed to. Because if you're not committed to your choices, then you're not going to have that rich feeling that you are yearning the Almighty to answer your prayers into. Because when you're going into a prayer, the Almighty is going to sit here and send a message letting you know that it's already been answered. But if you're not focusing on what has already been placed in front of you, then it's just like you're throwing all of the gratitude right back to the Almighty's face. And then when you're doing that, you're not going to be able to see what you're going to be successful in because you're too looking outside of the validation that you should have been noticing within. The validation within is really what's going to help you see the visualization that you think about every day and every night. Because the one thing you got to understand too, if you want a better, let's say a better January 20th, you had to think about January 20th right now. And then when January 2nd hits, think about January 20th on the second day of January. And then so on and so forth. And the thing is too, visualize means that for when you have to be able to see, like you have to be daydreaming, night dreaming, or just night analyzing. And the thing is too, before you even go to bed, when you're visualizing, you sit there with yourself, you're sitting in thought. So even before you lay down, or even if you are laying down and about to go to bed, or as you're drifting off to bed, when you're going off to bed, whatever. Because what I do is, I'm just giving you free game, by the way. I journal, so I have my journals with me, right? So, for example, I have my journal, and then in my journal, I'll put my journal under my bed or under my pillow because I'm doing a pillow method also. And the thing is, so I'll say the affirmation before I go to bed. And then once that happens, my subconscious mind will have to notice the visualization I'm going to be seeing or witnessing before it's time for me to go into REM sleep. And then as my subconscious mind goes into that dimension, that's when now my ability of being able to see the visualization of me being in my own reality at nighttime is going to manifest itself and shift itself over during the daytime. And then I'm going to be rising in the current moment of what I have been witnessing through the law of attraction of what I feel I have already been attracted to. And that's just me being a better me for a better you. Because as you're seeing that visual of how greater your year has already became, you're now going to witness that 2025 has been brought and manifested through an ignorant programming of what you already knew you were aware of and what you were enlightened into thinking it was of importance, but it wasn't really important to you because you have grown out of that phase of celebrating a new year because the thing is too, think about it. You have never been able to hold or see a new year. If nobody told you it was a new year, how would you know it was a new year? So by you seeing a new year, you had to actually start thinking that for one, it's not your birthday. It's not the January 1st. It's not the spring. There is no new year. But when you start thinking and visualizing these 7 steps into seeing a new year, that begins when you start awakening into wanting to be a new person every single second of the days that you are weakened by. So it's a new year every single minute, every single second, every single day, every single choice, every single action that you commit. Is it helping you emit positive actions that will send a boost into your life, or is it causing you to go back a few notches? Are these actions bringing you back into a life that you know isn't meant for you? Or are these choices and actions uplifting you and motivating you into inspiring someone else? And if that's the case, then the choices that you are doing from this day forward are what you should have been doing the whole entire time. And you know that you're going to have a great year because it's going to hit you like a thief in the night because you never expected all these manifestations to happen to you so fast. But you have to expect the unexpected because what did you expect to happen? When you expected greatness, you had no choice but to be grateful instantly because instantly you were waiting for it to happen, weren't you? And the thing is too, that's okay because it's like as energy subconsciously, as a microcosm of the experiment, our higher experimentation, we already know our desires have been placed to us or presented to us, and we received it instantly already. But the thing is though, if we're not aware of the gratitude that we're not seeing right now, we're not seeing it, we're not aware of it, if we're not embracing it or handling it with care right now, then when it actually does happen in the physical, we won't know what to do with it, and then we will fumble the enlightenment of a better year. And then at that instant, the moment that we fumble a better choice, now we're going around saying, man, this year sucked ass. It's not a new year, new me anymore. It wasn't worth it. I can't wait for next year, etc., etc. And to stop that and prevent that is by you understanding what you have to be doing for you to withstand this new cycle of an observation that we are dreaming in. That's all this is. You are dreaming of it being a new year, but a new year does not know how new or old it is and isn't. So going through the 7 gems again, let go of all the spells that are holding you back from being great for this year. From last year, it never needed to be right next to you. It's holding you back. Let go, detach from it, and attach yourself into a positive thought for this cycle. Set a great goal that's going to scare you, that's audacious. It has to scare you and excite you. And if you think about it every single day, and if you don't really have a way of thinking or being or feeling with this goal, and you're just doing it, that's how you know that great things will happen when this goal starts to flourish and bloom, when the spring is going to bring itself forward in your own timeline. Prioritize your mental and physical and spiritual health every single day, because that's all you got. That's the most expensive thing, and it's free. So why are you wasting your time going broke for programs that are distracting you into poisoning yourself? The next one, surround yourself with people who challenge and inspire you. Don't look at people who are better than you as them being better than you. They're just doing things better than you because they have been practicing being better than themselves. Commit to learning one new skill that will transform your life, because that skill that's going to help you transform your life will help you see that the life that you have been living in and existing in, this skill is going to help you in another lifestyle as well. And then this skill can help somebody else or another soul who is lost on that same exact journey that they are wanting to be skillful in. And you're the guy that they will be asking help for, because you're committed into developing new skills every single day. Invest in experiences, not just the things in them, because they will create a joy that will last forever. Once you understand that, the experiences that you invest in will commit joy that will cause you to be peaceful for free. Because you have to make sure that every single experience that you are living in is worth spending your time in. Are you going broke living out this experience that you think you're happy in? Or are you going to start feeling richer to the extent of you not wanting to allow yourself to unconsciously manifest negative emotions that you know will keep you stagnant in your broke mindset? And then lastly, you have to visualize the life you dream about every rising and every night. And the thing is too, you have to do it, I'm talking about you have to do it every single day to the point to where the life you visualize is in front of your face. Like the life that you talk about and you affirm, you have to say that every single day to the point to where when you see that shit, all you can do is shed a tear of joy, because you understand that now this shit works. It's magical. The words that you've been carrying, they have been broadcasting all the thoughts that you have been thinking about, and now they're here. What you gonna do with this prayer or meditation that you have been thinking about or talking to yourself about? How will you handle it? Because don't forget who placed that thought in your head and brought it to reality. That's why you always give thanks into the same energy cycle from the Almighty Creator, the Almighty Observer. Because the Almighty Observer is the one that's going to still watch you run around a maze in illumination, not knowing that the illumination is the ignorance that you are sitting comfortable with while existing in the current moment, thinking that this current moment is going to bring you a new year of rebirth. When you understand that this rebirth or this cycle of energy that you think is new It's just the observation of new and old spells that you keep casting upon your contradicted programming. So what is a new year to a dreamer that's dreaming in an observation of spells that are casted by your maker? And who is your maker when you are the maker of your maker? Have a great day, Divine Reflection.